It's time for Recipe of the Day. Happy Friday, we made it! And if you want a delicious after-work drink or one for one of your brunches this weekend, I've got the best spicy Bloody Mary for you right now. I've kept this recipe pretty pure in terms of Bloody Marys, but I've increased the spiciness with extra hot sauce and extra horseradish. So that will be part of this recipe, but I'm also going to talk about ways to just in general make the best Bloody Mary. And my favorite thing to do is to mix up a batch ahead of time and put it in the fridge. That way you're not putting any ice at that point. It's just getting chilled. Everything is getting chilled and the flavors are blending. Like a full 24 hours is best, but even just like 2 hours, just so that everything is really cold, that's going to do a lot. And then when you pour your cocktail mixture from the fridge over ice in a glass, it's cold enough that it's not going to start melting the ice and you're not going to water anything down. So the recipe that I'm linking to in the show notes gives you the full batch. If you're making a batch to put in the fridge, it gives you that recipe. But it also has a recipe for making a single glass of the cocktail. That one is done in a cocktail shaker, like assuming you're getting home from work today and you want to just make one, you're going to do that. It is going to be a slightly bit more watery cocktail than the one that you chill without ice. And so I adjusted the measurements to make up for that. So there's a little bit more tomato juice, a little bit more lemon juice, and a little bit more of those spicy ingredients in the one that you're going to be shaking over ice than there is if you were to just like multiply that by 4 to make your big batch to go into the fridge. Those are not going to be the same because I'm accounting for how that water from the ice is going to affect things. I hope that makes sense. So the batch that you're making up to put in the fridge for at least 2 hours is 8 ounces of vodka, a tablespoon of lemon juice, a tablespoon of lime juice, a tablespoon of horseradish. You've heard me say this before. Get your horseradish in the refrigerated section of the grocery store. That's the spiciest and the best. And you're using prepared horseradish here, not horseradish sauce. Horseradish sauce has like mayonnaise or creamy stuff in it that you do not want in this drink. So a tablespoon of prepared horseradish bought near the refrigerated pickles in the refrigerated section of the grocery store. You're also adding 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce and a teaspoon of hot sauce. Keep in mind that not all hot sauces are created equal. Some are spicier than others. I'm using like a Tabasco or like Frank's hot sauce here. If you've got like some ghost pepper craziness, you might want to use a little bit less. So you mix that all up into a pitcher and put it in the fridge. Don't add any ice. Put it in the fridge for at least 2 hours, ideally 24 hours. Get it nice and cold. Then you prep a glass or 4 glasses by cutting a slit in a wedge of lime and running it along the top, like drinking edge of the glass. Then put some celery salt on a plate and then tip that wetted rim into that celery salt and it's going to stick there. Since this is a spicy version of this drink, you can also add a tiny bit of cayenne or some black pepper to that celery salt mixture. That's going to be great. Or Tajin seasoning is really great in there. I'm going to link to a homemade version of Tajin, or you can buy your own, mix it with that celery salt. Once you've rimmed the glasses, you put a half cup of ice cubes into each glass and then pour that cold Bloody Mary mixture from the fridge over that ice. It's not going to melt the ice very much and you're going to have a really potent, delicious drink. Now, if you are instead getting home Friday night and you just want to make one spicy Bloody Mary, here's what you do. You're going to do that same thing. You're going to rim your glass with the lime and dip it in the celery salt or the seasoned celery salt, and then put about a half cup of ice cubes into that glass and set it aside. Then put a cup of ice cubes into a cocktail shaker and then take hold of that lime that you used to wet the rim of your glass and squeeze it over the ice in the cocktail shaker. Then add in 3/4 of a cup of tomato juice, 2 ounces of vodka, 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, a teaspoon of horseradish, half a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, and a 1/4 teaspoon of hot sauce. Put the lid on your cocktail shaker, shake it up really well, and then strain that into your prepared glass over the ice that you put in there. I am a traditionalist, whether I am I'm making a batch of these or 1 glass of them, I like it with just a stick of celery. I actually love celery so much. And when I take the celery out of the drink and it's kind of been soaking in there and then run it along that celery salt rim and take a bite, I adore that super much. But I will also link to some other Bloody Mary garnish ideas for you. There are some more elaborate ones that I think are really fun, or you can do anything really. I think because this is a spicy drink, doing a pepperoncini pepper with some spicy salami or pepperoni on a skewer would be really good. Some black pepper coated bacon. I guess it really depends on how much effort you want to put into this. Is this your big Sunday brunch where you're having lots of people over, or is this your quick Friday drink? That will likely influence your choices. I will say that I've often done for brunches a Bloody Mary bar. So the mix is made and it's cold in a jug, and then there's ice, and then there's other garnish things there for people. So there's celery sticks, there's pickled okra, pickled green beans, some pickles, olives on skewers, toothpicks or skewers there so people can make their own. That's really fun. There's all kinds of things you can do then. Oh, pepperoni sticks are a great thing. You can put a stick of pepperoni and the celery on one skewer together. That's super fun. And I just really like pepperoni, so any excuse, right? I will put the link to this recipe in the show notes for this podcast episode, or you can head to cookthestory.com/ROTD and get it there, or find it in our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/recipeotd. And hey, just a quick note. I'm on a recording hiatus right now, so for the next little while, I'm replaying episodes from the archives, including this one. If you heard me mention a holiday, a season, or something going on in my life that seemed a bit off, that's why. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope you're enjoying these older episodes. I am Christine Pittman from cookthestory.com, thecookful.com, cookfor2.us, and from this podcast, Recipe of the Day. I hope you have a great day. Let's get cooking.